Will soon know how the U.S. Supreme Court will rule into key partisan gerrymandering cases, one from Wisconsin and the other from Maryland, which have the potential to remake our congressional district are drawn. Whatever the court determine, multiple lower and state court decisions should finally put to rest one important debate, is the durable Republican congressional advantage across otherwise competitive purple state a natural geographic edge, or an unnatural upper hand obtained via extreme gerrymandering? In Wisconsin, North Carolina and Pennsylvania, Republicans and their expert witnesses have defended GOP supremacy on legislative and congressional maps as a result of natural sorting. Democrats, they have argued, cluster themselves in urban areas, Republican voters spread themselves more efficiently across suburbs and rural America. Whether or not Democratic clustering stand in the way of fair maps in the state, however, is a question that can be tested and adjudicated. This argument has now been rejected by state Supreme Court justice, as well as federal judges appointed by both Democratic and Republican presidents. Several courts have reached the same conclusion. The problem in the state is aggressive gerrymandering, and there's nothing necessary or organic about it. It's big data, not the big source. Some judges have relied on new computer-driven, social science metrics to dismiss the self-clustering argument. Others have carefully tested and evaluated competing expert claims. And some simply could not ignore the paper trail left by mapmakers themselves, dozens upon dozens of draft maps, each more partisan than the next, revealing the surgically crafted GOP advantages to be anything but self-serving or geographic inevitability. In the Wisconsin case, a panel of 3 federal judges found that while the state's political geography afforded Republicans some nominal advantage, it simply does not explain adequately the sizable disparate effect in the 2012 and 2014 stage legislative elections. The 2012 race was the first run on the current maps drawn entirely by Republicans in a top-secret, eyes-only, map-room headquartered in a politically connected law firm across from the state capitol in Madison. It produced 60 Republican seats and just 39 for Democrats in 2012, even though Democratic candidate amassed 174,000 more votes statewide. Republicans defended the maps in federal court by suggesting the GOP advantage was unavoidable due to clustered Democrats and more evenly spread Republicans. Any districting plan, they argued, would favor Republicans naturally. They presented expert testimony, however, that the court found wholly inadequate to explain the historic Republican lean over to cyclone the maps. If the geographic advantage was inevitable, the court suggested, it must not be possible to draw any maps without that partisan slant, but Republican mapmakers had produced multiple alternative plans without that dramatic bent, despite the modest pro-GOP geography. Fair maps could be drawn, despite Wisconsin's political geography. Republicans drew them, but merely to use them as a starting point. Republicans began with a map that would have given their candidate, with that modest geographic advantage, an edge in 49 districts. From there, the partisan operative drawing the maps refines the lines using detailed voting index and precise demographic data. Each time, the expected partisan advantage increased, even the names of the plan, assertive, or aggressive, showed off the edge Republicans expected to receive. The final map expected to yield 59 seats, 10 more than the initial version, and only one shy of the actual 2012 results. Benign factors, like geography, cannot explain this substantial increase in Republican advantage, the core found. The drafter established this finding themselves. They produced several statewide draft plans that performed satisfactorily on legitimate districting criteria without attaining drastic partisan advantage. The argument that geography mattered more than gerrymandering lacked specificity and careful analysis. The arguments were similar in Pennsylvania. The state Supreme Court last December. Republican leader cited geography, specifically clustered Democrats in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, to defend the constitutionality of congressional maps that awarded themselves 13 of the 18 congressional seats in this ordinarily blue-leaning state. That 13-5 edge endured throughout 2012, 2014 and 2016, even in cycles when Democrats earned more votes. While the Republicans' own draft maps betrayed that claim in Wisconsin, the Pennsylvania case swung, in part, due to precise statistical methods that revealed how surgically the lines had been crafted to give them the pretense of geographical inevitability. Dr. Joey Shen, one of the nation's leading experts on redistricting and political geography, USD a simple mean, median test and demonstrated very statistically extreme outcomes that cannot be explained by voted geography. Under another expert standard found convincing by the court, the Republicans' geographic edge was less than 1% prior to this decade's maps. The 2011 plan, however, had increased that advantage to between 15 and 24%. In other words, the court found that, in its disregard of the traditional redistricting factors, the 2011 plan consistently works toward and accomplishes the concentration of the power of historically Republican voters. The statistical evidence also burnished basic common sense. After all, Democrats won 12 of the state's 19 congressional seats in 2008, when their candidate won a majority of the votes statewide. Similar results in 2012, however, handed Republicans 70% of the seats, even as Barack Obama easily defeated Mitt Romney statewide. Pennsylvania Democrats did not self-sort themselves in any dramatic way between 2008 and 2012, rather, they were clustered by partisan operative into wildly spirographed districts that resembled Donald Duck kicking Goofy. The court ordered the entire statewide map redrawn on unconstitutional partisan gerrymander. The new maps are expected to create a delegation that actually reflects the state's political opinion. Likewise, in North Carolina's partisan gerrymandering case Common Cause and League of Women Voters v. Roadshow, another panel of 3 federal judges carefully weighed and then overwhelmingly rejected the idea that democratic clustering in urban areas, or natural packing, explained maps so pro-Republican that the GOP won 10 of 13 seats in this purple state. They based this finding, in part, on non-admission by the GOP on expert, who conceded that the congressional maps cracked Democratic cluster and submerged them in GOP-leaning districts unlikely to elect a Democrat. and the court turned to the numbers. Judges were convinced by the statistical work of Chen and Duke Professor Jonathan Mattingly, who simulated almost 25,000 set of maps using traditional districting procedure and found no evidence to conclude that the gap advantage was explained by the state's political geography. The Republican legislators defending the maps, the court concluded, have not provided any persuasive basis to question the professor methods, findings and conclusion. Accordingly, we find that North Carolina's political geography does not explain the 2016 plan's discriminatory effect. This court a well ordered a new congressional map for the 2018 election. The U.S. Supreme Court stated that demand pending the resolution of the Wisconsin and Maryland case. Democrats do cluster in urban areas, but at the court have found time and again that generates only a minimal electoral advantage for Republicans. Maps drawn with fairness in mind can and do overcome that easily, whether they are neutral districts created by supercomputers or the work of high school students in Ohio and Pennsylvania, who regularly draw less partisan maps than the ones chosen by politicians who then blame geography for their biased choices. Yes, there are states where geography affects fair representation. Republicans in New England and Democrats in the Deep South are unlikely to see their views represented in Congress without multi-member district and ranked choice voting, the reform layout in the Fair Representation Act proposed by Rep. Don Bayer, Deva. Likewise, the silhouette of our politics and our media contributes to polarization and has dangerous consequences. We choose whether to hide conservative friends on Facebook, or to watch cable news that confirm our sense of the world. But where we live does not change the ability of a partisan mapmaker to draw lines that curve and cluster voters within districts that are finely tuned to produce a specific outcome. The political media too often attributes the GOP structural edge in the House of Representatives, estimated by the Associated Press and Y. Brennan Center to be between 16 and 22 seats, to both gerrymandering and geography. This both-sided conventional wisdom obstructs a real understanding of today's sophisticated, high-tech gerrymanders, and provide an incomplete picture of the competitive 55